Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia. 9 counties are dealing with a chemical spill. It contaminated the water supply. Up to 300,000 people are being told not to touch the tap water.
A new and unsettling twist in the story of all those Americans with contaminated water in their homes in West Virginia.
It's extremely out of the ordinary.
A state of emergency has been declared in West Virginia in the USA after a chemical leak into a river. Drinking water in 9 counties has been deemed unsafe.
How dangerous is this chemical if people are exposed to it?
We have a baby, and so we're trying to find water for him for formula. It really doesn't matter for us. We're just trying to make sure he has what he needs.
Thousands of citizens in West Virginia are heading into this weekend dealing with a major water emergency.
Truckloads of water are being rushed to the capital of West Virginia for about 300,000 people.
That includes homes, businesses, even hospitals.
People are unable to use water for anything. That means no showering, no shaving, no morning coffee, and no idea just how much longer it'll take.
Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water, not to use it for anything, cooking, bathing, washing, anything at all.
Yes, this came from the governor's office, and it is a do not use order, which is different than a boil water advisory, which is, I think, what a lot of people maybe wondered at first. Is this just a boil water advisory? We get those all the time. And it quickly became clear this was not a boil water advisory. This was something much more serious. And that was really the start. We were live on the air when it happened, and it just snowballed from there.
What happens here, where we get a lot of rainfall, we take water for granted. We're rarely under water stress in terms of water quantity stress. But what we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious, serious situation, and not one that's just, environmentalists care about it. Everybody cares about it. Citizens care about it. Businesses care about it. It's wildly important to us, and we see it when we realize it when it's gone.
Well, when we were doing Streamlab and looking at the centers and sort of educating ourselves within the class, our original impetus for that was the chemical spill in Charleston, but it was like opening up a Pandora's box of issues about water, not just in our state, but nationwide.
In short, it was a mess. It was a mess. I was lucky. I had water. But that meant I was sort of ground zero for people who needed showers, who needed to fill up water bottles, for people who just kind of wanted a place where they could get away from the no water situation wherever they were and feel a sense of normalcy for a little bit. So I was very, very fortunate. But our staff, our reporters, their families, many of them, I think nearly all of them, they lived in apartments and in homes where they didn't have water either. So this was a story that they were covering, but they were also experiencing firsthand. And that was really important because I think it added an additional sense of urgency to the way the story was reported, not just in our newsroom, but in all of the newsrooms in the Kanawha Valley and the 9 affected counties.
Right. Well, what the chemical spill taught us is that water is extremely valuable, and we just often take it for granted because we have so much of it. If you go out west, they have droughts on a regular enough basis that they understand the value of their water. We have to be protective of that water. We have to be protective of that water because so much of our state, so much of our businesses, our economy depends on it. It is not just people who care about the environment. They care about the environment because of its value to the people that live here.
This was not handled well, in my opinion, at multiple levels.
When the crisis happened in Flint, Michigan, it was tragic, but it also confirmed for us what we were really seeing, even just trying to investigate issues of looking at water quality in this state. If you look at the power of what citizen journalism did to really give voice to groups that had not been able to speak for themselves. They had to rely on sort of official voices or mediated voices and brands and companies, you know, where it gives rise to things like Arab Spring or Black Lives Matter. You know, that's the power of technology and citizen journalism. I think we're going to see the same power of that technology in citizen science and with censor journalism, because it puts tools and technology in the hands of folks in a really empowering way.
Even once the water was turned on, people didn't believe the water was safe. There are some who live in parts of those 9 counties in southern West Virginia who still don't believe their water is safe. They won't drink it, they won't bathe in it, they won't cook with it. They've gone to drilling their own wells or collecting rainwater or buying bottled water. But that's beginning to fade for most. And I think that now that we're, you know, almost 2 years from the initial event, you know, Charleston and the surrounding areas, it's not at the forefront of everyone's mind anymore, but I do think that it's in the back of everyone's mind.
Now, moving into the future, there is no question that the value of water will only go up. And that's true everywhere. So everywhere the value of water will continue to go up as we continue to pollute waterways and as we continue to have increased demand for that water.